What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today I'm coming to you from Indonesia. I'm actually in a city called Semarang. I was just in Yogyakarta and Jakarta and Budang or Bundang. So it's kind of hard, you know. You guys always give me a hard time about my pronunciations in the videos, anyway. But yeah, I've been doing Java now for the very first time for about I think 10 to 12 days, somewhere around there. I'm going to try and get over more of Indonesia. There's around, I think, 17,000 islands in Indonesia. So there's a lot of exploring for island hoppers like me and you. I'm actually wearing a traditional Javanese hat. Um, if you guys are following my other channel, Island Hopper TV Travel Highlights, where I post more of the raw behind the scenes stuff, the walking tours, the stuff that this channel originally used to do, you can go over there. I did the walking tour of Jakarta and a few other places. I mean, you'll see tons of videos from over there, just like behind the scenes, all the stuff from Central America, South America, the Caribbean, Southeast Asia, which is where I'm at now. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the budget travel destinations that I've seen around the world in 2024. And it's really important to know this stuff because it's changed. Inflation is not just in your home country, wherever you're from, whether you're from Australia, the United States, England. A lot of people think that their home country is the only one getting hit with inflation. No, inflation is pretty much everywhere. Hey, what's going on, JT? Zip Air. Yeah, you saw the Zip Air video I did last year when I went to Korea, I believe it was, or Japan, one of the two. I can't remember. There's so many trips I've done. Sometimes it's just a blur looking back on it. I've spent the entire 2024 traveling. I don't even know how many countries I've been to, but I feel like I have travel fatigue. I spent almost all of last year traveling. So really, I mean, aside from 3 weeks, I've basically been on the road for over 365 days, aside from 3 weeks when I went home to Mesa, Arizona, to put all my stuff in storage and start traveling full time. That's a lot of countries, a lot of ground covered, and a lot of things. Sometimes when I look back on it all, it's kind of a dream. It's kind of a fuzz. But even then, I mean, look how many years I've been traveling. I don't know too many people that are in my situation right now where they're full time traveling like this. I know people who live abroad, but I don't know too many people who are like hopping around from country to country. There are people out there who do it. It's just there's not very many of us. But the reason I give you this preface is because that goes to show that I have the information you're looking for about this stuff because I've put in the work. I've been to the places. So if you're looking for budget travel destinations close to the United States, the places that I would consider looking at, believe it or not, you can find cheap accommodation, cheap travel opportunities in Costa Rica. Like Costa Rica is expensive. And I mean, Costa Rica can be as expensive as Florida, but Costa Rica can also be as affordable as, I don't know, Thailand. I mean, there's some, like, if you learn to live like a local in Costa Rica, you get out into the local areas. That means shopping at the supermarkets, staying at the little mom and pop hotels or Airbnbs or homestays. You get outside of the tourist areas in Costa Rica, you're going to find cheap, affordable travel. And that's the key in some of these places is getting out of the tourist zones because there are places. I even went to some of these places here in Indonesia and Yogyakarta just yesterday or 2 days ago when I went to a couple of temples. It's like the biggest Buddhist temple in the world is called Borobudur. It's an amazing archaeological site, but it's a total tourist trap. I mean, it costs $24 by Indonesian standards. That's expensive. Let me just tell you how affordable Indonesia is, by the way. You can get in a Grab car, and for like $5, you can drive for an hour in a Grab. Something like that. I mean, it's super affordable. You can get like meals for like less than $1 consistently here in Indonesia. I mean, this is just one of the places that you can find affordable travel. But yeah, I mean, outside of the tourist traps, it's super cheap. I mean, that's the thing, getting outside of the tourist areas, because every destination is going to have tourist traps, whether it be Costa Rica, Indonesia, Thailand. Thailand's another place where you save a lot of money. Let me just give you an example of this. So I bought a first class ticket. You guys know I bought a first class ticket because you saw my videos on VertCam, my transportation channel, where I review airports and um, flights. And I do that because it's like all these different things I'm doing. I might as well film it, right? So I bought a first class ticket from JFK to Bangkok on Kuwait Airlines. I was traveling in the Caribbean and I was traveling in New York. What I was spending in 2 weeks, what I spent in 2 weeks worth of travel, okay, I had made up in Thailand within 2 weeks, including what I paid for the first class or the business class ticket. So after 2 weeks, everything else was just net savings. I'm trying to explain that correctly. I don't know if that came across correctly. Thank you to everyone who smashed up the likes. Thank you, Stefan, for saying you like the work we're doing. And then LaShawn, he says, "Hey, how's it going? I think about traveling. I always watch your videos to see what I'm in store. So thank you very much." Yeah, that's great that you guys are getting value out of our videos because that's what keeps us going, right? So thank you to everyone who's liking the video and letting us know all this feedback. I don't know what time it is where you guys are at. It's 9:11 p.m. here. I'm trying to do a live stream that's like where I'm not too tired and you guys are awake in the US. I think most of my viewers are either in the US or UK. So I'm assuming most of you are in the UK or US and you're awake right now, or some of you might be just waking up. 7:11. So you must be like in Arizona, I think, because I asked, I'm not going to say her name, Siri, because she'll come on my phone, but and she said it was like that time right there, 9:11. So 9:11 would be, I believe, Central Time Zone or Eastern Time Zone. Yeah, okay. Vonnie says, thanks for the reviews. Thank you for appreciating those. So when it comes to budget travel, let's stick on the subject because I know that some people are just going to be watching this video for the budget travel information, which is really important because when you travel, you want to save money on food, transportation, and accommodation. Everything else is on the sidelines, right? That's just your entertainment funds. But if you can cover your base with affordability, that gives you more fun money to enjoy yourself, buying beers, going out, doing things that excite you, right? So where have I found this the most? I would say Southeast Asia is still the most affordable place where you get the most value. Now, Southeast Asia is not for everyone. I don't know why it's not for everyone. When someone tells me they didn't enjoy Southeast Asia, I usually think to myself, wow, they must not have, they must not have got the right information, or I did a bad job of telling them what to do or how to do it. But usually it comes down to they get to Bangkok and they're blown away by it. They're like, I don't know, their head starts spinning around. They're like, what is going on here? It becomes too ruckus for them, so they can't really enjoy it. And it's not that Bangkok doesn't have anything to do, it's just they don't understand the city. So the truth is, you have to go to a place and let it come to you. For example, Kuala Lumpur is a perfect example of me having this situation. First time I ever went to Kuala Lumpur, I was like, it's okay. Let me get in and get out. Okay. Second time I go there, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really too blown away by Kuala Lumpur. But I stayed a few more days and I started to like it. Once I understood it, that's when I started to like it. But you can't just go to a place in 24 hours, 48 hours, and think that you're going to be able to get an impression of a place. Because there's plenty of times I've gone to places, even Jakarta. Like the first time I went to Jakarta, I was like, no, not so much. And then I let it come to me. So you have to go to a place and give it a chance. And so Bangkok's a perfect example of that. Like you spend 2 weeks in Bangkok and you finally get to know the city. You start knowing where to go, how the city works, the pulse of the city. That's when you'll start to enjoy those places. And there's a few places around the world that I arrive at where I just want to stay a longer time and I don't want to leave. Thailand's one of those places. And, I don't want to be one of those people that, goes out there and just like tells everyone, go to Thailand. But I mean it. I mean, I could lie to you and tell you something else. But the truth is, Thailand's pretty amazing. I mean, it's one of those places, the more you explore Thailand, the more you really have an appreciation for it. And even if I compared like Indonesia against Thailand, like I'm about to go to Bali again. I haven't gone there in 2 years. We had like two videos get over. We had one video for Bali get like 4.5 million views. We had another one get like 2.5 million views at this point. So I've kind of been avoiding Bali because we already had content that was getting a lot of views, but I'll go back there now. Because I'm so close. I'm in Semarang, which is on East or Central Java, which is the most populated island in the world, by the way. Indonesia's got like 250 million people. Java has like 150 million people on this island, the size of like smaller than Cuba. It's incredible how many people are here. I think about 150 million people. That's a lot of people on a small island. But when you go, yeah, I mean, I'm going to read some comments here. Recommend a hotel in Thailand. Yeah, I will, but give me a second. I'm going to explain the difference between Indonesia and Thailand. So I'm giving I'm giving Indonesia a chance against Thailand. I mean, I know that Bali, like I was already testing the waters in Bali. Like Bali is like the most famous place in Southeast Asia. I don't know why people are so obsessed with it. Like you go there, it's a place where there's just a bunch of like hipsters. People are into yoga, goji berries. I'm not knocking any of it. I'm just saying that it's just it attracts a certain type of Western tourist who like is obsessed with Bali, and that's great. I'll go there and film it and do all that and kind of hang out and pick up on the vibes and but I'm not really like itching to go there. Like I want to go back to some places in Thailand, like the islands in Thailand in the south or mostly in the south or even northern Thailand. But I'm looking through Indonesia to find more gems because they're here. So it's like people got to realize there's more to Indonesia than just Bali. I mean, there's 17,000 islands and Bali is one of them. So how about the other 16,999 islands? Well, that's what I'm here to look for. Now I have to extend my visa, but I'm on a budget travel plan that's working out great. I guess Bali has shot up in prices. I'm going there in peak season. So Bali's not really that affordable. And so I'm still trying to figure out what the big draw is. I hope to go to Lombok, which is right next to it. I hope to go to Gili T, but I also hope to go to Sulawesi, Borneo, which is Kalimantan. They're building a brand new capital city there that's supposed to be one of the first smart city and environmental friendly cities in the world. It's called Nusantara. So that's on Kalimantan on the island of Borneo, which shares with Brunei and Malaysia to the north. The cool thing about Borneo is that they have orangutans. I want to see orangutans, man. I've seen orangutans in a zoo. I mean, gorillas and orangutans, those are some of the most fascinating creatures. When I've been to zoos, I mean, the camels that come from Mongolia. I also want to go to Mongolia, but the camels that come from Mongolia have got my attention, like the gorillas and orangutans do. So, like to me, wildlife. If you could get to a place where there's like wildlife, like I hate going to places and there's like no wildlife. Believe it or not, Java doesn't really have much wildlife, but Indonesia does. They have like hippos and pygmy elephants and orangutans, but they're on the other islands like Borneo. So, giving you an idea of what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, if you compare Indonesia and Thailand, Thailand's just got way more infrastructure. The hospitality is just so much more organized. The customer service is good here, but people don't speak as much English. But then again, it's also probably more cheaper. Like someone tried to tell me that Jakarta was better than Bangkok. When I heard that Jakarta was better than Bangkok, I was like, really, dude? I got to go over there and check it out then. So that's what led me to Jakarta for the first time. And I spent like 5 days there. Thank you to everyone who's smashing up the likes. We got 12 likes. Let's see if we can get this to 20 likes and I'll keep going. We're at the 13-minute mark. So let's see if we can get that. Chad says, Rocky Point, good deals. Just got back. I stayed at the Sonar Resort at the Sandy Beach. Yeah, Rocky Point's going through a tough time right now. They've had some negative press. Someone got electrocuted in a jacuzzi, like, and died. Just hanging out in the jacuzzi and got zapped. And his wife also, I don't know if his wife died, but it was bad press. Also, there's some corruption, supposedly. Usually when there's bad press, it doesn't mean that the place is necessarily unsafe. It just means that people are staying away. So that means good deals for you, right? So there's been plenty of places that have gotten bad press and you get there and you're like, oh, okay. it's good for you, the tourist, because no one's there and you get to enjoy the place without so many people. I mean, crowds can really ruin a place. I mean, yes, this is a hat from Indonesia. You guys can see the side here. This is actually a hat. You know, people would say, "Oh, cultural appropriation." One of the things I have to say about that is, you go to these places, they want you to wear their stuff. Like, to them, it's not disrespectful. It's not culturally appropriate or culturally appropriation or whatever it is that people get into. Like, you go to these places, they really want you to buy their stuff and wear their stuff because to them that's national pride. They like to see foreigners wearing their stuff. It's like, you know, maybe you like to see people wearing a Cardinals jersey or a New England Patriots jersey or your hometown jersey or representing the New York Yankees hat. It's not a cultural appropriation. It's people representing where you're coming from, and you know you're feeling appreciated for it. So like I wore this one time and then I left it in my room. You want to know how much they want me to wear this? They like came down to my stair, they came down to where I was at the taxi. I said I left it there for the house cleaner or for the maid. And they were like, "No, no, take it, sir. Take it, please. We want you to wear it." So I'm just giving you an idea, you know, when people say, "Oh, cultural appropriation for wearing the local custom stuff," man, I'll tell you firsthand, they want you to wear this stuff. Whether it doesn't matter what country you're in, whether you're in Thailand, uh, Seoul, Korea, Japan. I mean, that doesn't mean that they want you to disrespect it because that's when you draw the line. It's making a mockery of it, but they definitely want you to wear it in a respectful way. So I'm wearing it the way that they would. Actually, you're supposed to. Let's see here. You're supposed to kind of wear it up like that, I think. So, yeah, that's how you're supposed to wear it. Custer State Park in South Dakota has great wildlife. Yeah, there's some. I mean, the U.S. has some great wildlife locations. Thanks to the 15 people who smash up the likes. Princess Michelle, how's it going? Long time no see. I finally got some good internet. Indonesia is not known for its for the best internet, by the way. We'll just leave it at that. Although I've been getting better internet lately. So what's my monthly budget for countries over there? Well, you have to understand, I'm actually in the point where I'm actually producing videos, so I have a production budget. The production budget is a lot higher than the travel budget. But if I was to remove the production budget, like doing the things to do stuff, like doing things to do costs money. Sometimes I got to get, I mean, you guys seen those things to do videos. I mean, go to like these amusement parks. Sometimes the amusement parks are like ridiculously overpriced, like going to Disney World or whatever. I got to go there and film it because, you know, I got to make the video about Orlando, or in Bangkok, I got to go to some of the temples and pay the taxis and this and that, and film the hotels. If you guys have seen Island Hopper TV hotels channel, that's a channel where I just focus on all the hotels. You go over to Island Hopper TV hotels, you'll see all the videos that are over there. I mean, I've stayed at like, I was looking at it, I think I'm like over 200 hotel reviews at this point, mostly Hyatt, Marriott, Hilton. The reason I do those is because those are the most commonly looked for hotels. But if I wasn't to make those videos, I would be staying at like $20 to $35 a night hotels in Bangkok. Now, maybe under 50. I would say under $50 a night. But even then, the 4-star hotel, 5-star hotels in Jakarta, for example, are like $120 a night. Here in Yogyakarta, yesterday I stayed at the Marriott. It's an absolutely beautiful 5-star hotel for $120 a night. If I'm in Orlando for $120 a night, or if I'm in Charlotte or New York City, $120 barely gets me a Motel 6. So I'm just giving you an idea. I mean, you get 5-star Marriott, JW, whatever. I'm an elite member because I continue to stay there now. But I mean, lounge access, all you can drink for 3 hours at night from 6 to 9. All you can eat, all you can drink. I mean, it's quite amazing. Leshon says, if you're just getting your passport, is Japan ideal to go, or what do you think? So Japan is a very expensive country. It's safe. I mean, if you guys are following us on Facebook, we've been making these lists of like one. It just reminds me of our most recent post. It was the safest countries in the world. I think it was top 15 safest countries in the world. Let me see if I can pull up that list for you so I can tell you exactly the ones that we put on there. I don't want to misquote it, but I mean, I know them off the top of my head, but um, I would say if you're just getting a passport, you probably want to go to the safe places just to kind of, knock the rust off the old process, right? But or get the ball rolling. Safest countries to travel: Switzerland, Singapore, Japan, UAE, Qatar. Now, UAE and Qatar are safe. People think that there's like a terrorist thing or something going on there, or that they're going to get stopped by tourist police or something like that. I mean, those are some seriously safe places. New Zealand. All of these are really kind of expensive, though. Like, I'd have to find one that seems like you're paying for safety. Iceland, another expensive one. Norway, expensive. Portugal, not so expensive. There's a country you may consider. Monaco, expensive, but you can easily get to Monaco from Nice in France. It's in the south of France, which would be kind of expensive, especially this time of year. Go during the shoulder seasons, like fall or spring to Japan, you'll save money. But if you go during the summertime, it's going to be really hot and you're going to spend more because that's when people go there. St. Bart's, for those of you who saw my Caribbean series, you know that I preferred St. Bart's over all of those islands. Really safe. Just if there was ever a paradise place, St. Bart's, but you got to pay the price to get there. When I was first looking at hotels in St. Bart's on Airbnb, it was $1,000 a night. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just go from St. Martin on the ferry and come back because I'm not paying $1,000 a night. No way can I justify that. But I went on Airbnb, and for some reason I found an Airbnb that was like $200 a night. So if you shop around a bit, and they weren't even really marketing on Airbnb. This is a long story. I don't want to get into it, but you can find the deals on St. Bart's if you really want to get there. Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Malaysia. Malaysia is very cheap and it's relatively safe. I thought Malaysia would be kind of dangerous. I thought also Indonesia would be dangerous, like walking around Semarang or walking around Yogyakarta or walking around Jakarta downtown. I was told these were dangerous places. Like, don't go there. I was walking around Semarang, only foreigner. I didn't see it. I saw like one group of foreigners. It was like some Dutch tourists, like two parents and their kids. But when I was walking around the old town at night, I didn't see a single foreigner. Maybe one other one, actually, now that I just had it like embedded in my head. So I don't want to lie. I might have saw like one other person, one guy. So that's like a total of five people that I saw. The family, me, and that guy. Whatever. However many numbers that is. I don't know. The point is that I didn't feel intimidated. I didn't feel like it was unsafe. I was walking around all by myself, having fun. The locals were so friendly to me. Like, they kind of made me feel like I was like, like cool or whatever. It's one of those places where they're like, they just want to like, they're so happy to see you. They're like, hey, come try this, come try that. Thank you to 16 people who smashed up the likes, by the way. We're almost to 20 likes, so we can keep going. But yeah, Indonesia, in Java, I was always told it was dangerous. Like even in Bali, the Balinese always are hating on the Javanese and saying they're dangerous. It's dangerous. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I can go there. But as I've gotten more comfortable in Indonesia, I would say it's safe. So, yeah, you can go to Japan. It's a good place. It's a confusing place. It's one of those places that took me a while to get familiar with Tokyo. It took me about the first time I went to Tokyo for 3 days, I didn't like it. The very first time I went to Tokyo, because there's no one really speaking English. None of the signs are in English. Everything was expensive, and it was a bit cold. I went like during like Halloween time. Not a good time for Tokyo. It was a bit cold. But now I would say Tokyo is awesome because I know the city. So that's going back to the idea you got to take time to get to know a place. And then when you take the time to get to know the place, that's when it starts to reveal itself to you. That's when you can start to appreciate it. You can't really know a place within 3 days. You can do the 3-day thing just to get your feet wet with it. And I've done that. And I've done that probably most of my beginning travel days. I would just do 3 days at a time. That was back when I had the tolerance to go in and out of airports that consistently. Nowadays, I don't have that kind of tolerance to be in and out of airports that frequently. Airports are not my favorite place, especially when they're busy. I mean, I like airports, but wow, let's be real here. So Indonesia, I mean, it's a place you can just like. I haven't had to take a plane to get anywhere across Indonesia on Java. At least I've taken trains. They have a nice train. It's better than Amtrak. It's better than Amtrak, and it's cheaper. I think it costs 250,000 IDR. So 250,000 IDR, Indonesian rupiah, maybe like $15, $20 to go from West Java to Central Java. And that was in the executive class lounge. Go watch VerCam. You can see the video over there. I did the whole tour. My Facebook group, I don't really have a Facebook group. I have a Facebook page, Island Hopper TV. I was thinking about starting another Island Hopper TV group. I just don't use it. I've started a couple other groups like Digital Nomads Worldwide. You could search that, Digital Nomads Worldwide. That's my group where I basically want to get digital nomads together to talk about things related to doing what I'm doing, which is living life full-time traveling. Like I said, I've only spent 3 weeks out of the year. In the last 365 days, so to speak, the last calendar year, I've only spent 3 weeks at home. And that home is now rented. So it's not a home anymore. It's rented out to someone. So, I mean, I'm basically a digital nomad full time, and I've been like that. It can get a bit draining. I do need to find a place to post up, and that place will. Someone said, "Oh, go to Bali." I don't know if it's going to be Bali though. It'll probably be Thailand, and it'll probably be the south of Thailand in an island like Koh Tao, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Krabi, some or maybe even Koh Lipe. I really like Koh Lipe last time I was there. Koh Chang, Koh Mak, Koh Lanta. I mean, there's so many places to just chill out in Thailand. That's probably where I'll get my R&R when I'm ready, which is probably now. Heck yeah, they have electricity in Indonesia. You know, you can. I'm staying at a Holiday Inn. I was just staying at a 5-star Marriott. I mean, you could stay at like a cheap hotel for $7 a night that might have flickering lights and stuff and cockroaches. Yeah, you might find that. Or you can pay $50 a night and stay at a place like the Holiday Inn, like I am right now. I'm at a Holiday Inn here, and it's $43 a night plus taxes comes out to around $50 a night. I bought the extra 3,000 points because I'm trying to get status with IHG. I'm only like one night away from having like the diamond status with IHG, which is good for me because that means I'll get early check-in, late checkout, room upgrades, lounge access. That lounge access is really valuable to me because, you know, the 3 hours during happy hour, that's I'm usually in my room by 9 p.m. anyway. So from 6 to 9, that's perfect for me. All you can drink, all you can eat. That saves me dinner and drinks, like $30 to $40 right there. So it's worth it to get status if you can. I mean, I'm finally there. I don't have status with Hyatt yet, but that's another one I'm working on. I'm a globalist. I'm not even a discoverist, or I'm a discoverist or something like that. You got to be like a long time. I'm a long ways away from the Hyatt one, but that's the one I got to get. I've got Marriott, I've got Hilton, about to get cheap. Now I got to get Hyatt. Again, this is all because of the hotels channel that I do all this, but you guys can do something like it too. I mean, it's not something you can't do. Salvador says, "Hey Jeff, when in Japan do you check out Cube hotels?" You know, that's a great idea. Those I have stayed in those capsule hotels. I liked it. The only thing I don't like about it is the bathroom situation because it can be a little bit grimy in there. Obviously, Japan's going to be a lot cleaner. But I'm not one of those types of people to like, you know, just walk around totally naked around a bunch of strangers. Not my cup of tea. It's popular in Japan actually, and I'm not hating on it. Like pro locker rooms do that all the time. It's just not something I'm going to do, but that's something that they do in those cube hotels. You know, so if you're in a cube hotel, you could be in a common area, and next thing you know, somebody's totally like that. But the capsule itself is so comfortable. Oh my gosh! You know where I last did it was in Tel Aviv, Israel. It was nice. So, yeah. JT says, just got a new Hilton membership. They deleted my old account. Oh, no. Well, there's like, this is one thing that I didn't tell you that I'm also going to say. There's fast tracks to it. Get the credit card. So you like get status with Hilton if you get the American Express card for Hilton. So you go from like basic to like gold or something like that. I think there's even one that you can buy to get instant diamond. I mean, you don't even have to stay 60 nights. You just buy the credit card, pay the annual fee of $500 a month, spend like $3,000, put it all on that. I mean, with those cards though, they're charge cards. If you don't pay them down at the end of the month, you get hit with a 15% annual APR interest rate, and that's not fun. So make sure you pay as you go. But I just recently got the Hyatt Visa card with Chase, or is it a MasterCard? I got the IHG card with MasterCard. You're like $95 a year, but they pay for, if you're someone in my shoes who's traveling frequently and you know you're going to be staying at those kind of hotels, it pays for itself like on the first night, literally, because they give you 60,000 points. 60,000 points comes out to around like 3 nights. 3 nights. So if you're paying $95 a year and you stay 3 times, and each room, let's just say, is like, well, in Asia, they're like $100 a night, but in Sedona or Phoenix or New York City, they're probably $300 to $400 a night. And those 60,000 points will go by faster. You know, like JW Marriott in New York City might cost 120,000 points. But it could be like a $700 a night hotel or Waldorf Astoria or whatever, depending on whatever chain. You guys get the idea. Thanks to 22 people who smashed up the likes. We got it going. But Vonnie said, don't forget to list hotel for Thailand. So if you guys go to Island Hopper TV hotels in Thailand, I've got a whole playlist of like over 30 hotels that I've stayed at in Thailand. And they're not all JW Marriott. They're not all Marriotts. They're not all Hyatts. They're not all IHG. Like I stayed at like some cabanas in Koh Lipe, right there on the beach. Probably the best beach I've ever stayed at, aside from the one that I did in Koh Phi Phi when I went out there. But I think that one's called like 10 Monkeys or something like that. So look for that one. Or 10 Moons. 10 Moons. Look for that one. That was a heck of a hotel. It was only like $80 a night. The beach was out of this world, like something straight out of a movie. Hey, thanks, Chad. Chad likes all the Arizona videos. Nice. Hey, Kai, what's going on? Hey, Jeff, nice to hear you. I know you are busy, but if you book a trip to Thailand, can I book a call with you for tips and whatnot, where you go stay and how long at your feet, of course. Yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that, but go ahead and ask the questions right now, and I'll give you as much information for free. I haven't set up anything where I do phone calls. The problem with that is because of my travel schedule. Like if I booked in a calendar, it's going to take me away from what I do travel-wise, which is get out and travel. So I have thought about that maybe in my retired years. When I retire from or take a break from all this, I'll open up the lines for more information. But go ahead and ask the question right now about Thailand, and I'll do my best to answer it for free right now. But yeah. Oh, what happened to my dog, Larry? He's with my mom. So Larry Berto. And they have a TikTok with him and like 4 other dogs. So he's doing all right. He's definitely not alone. He's probably happier there than being at my house with me not there, being watched by someone, bored with no dogs around. So, I think dogs are social. And so anytime a dog can be around other dogs, that's always a step up. And they've got, loving humans around. That's always a benefit. So the Cube Hotel idea, though, that is something I've looked into. Even in Singapore. Singapore is another one of those places that's really expensive, and I've thought about getting a Cube Hotel in Singapore in the Boat Key area. So Eric says, I got a cat. Okay, that's good. You got a cat. There's cats all over here. Everywhere I go, there's cats. You know where you can see a lot of cats if you're a cat person like me? I'm a cat person like you. I like cats. I don't know why people don't like cats. I guess they get sick from them or something. They're allergic. But Greece has a lot of cats. Everywhere has a lot of cats. I mean, I see cats, I always like to pet cats, dogs too. Like even those dogs that are sniffer dogs, like at the hotels, I always go up and pet them. I'm always like, oh man, maybe they're going to smell something on me. I don't know what I got on me, but maybe they're going to smell something not like me. But I always go up and pet all the dogs, like labs and all that, and they're all happy. It's like, but I don't want to distract them from their job, which is sniffing whatever they're supposed to be looking for. Vonnie says, best time to travel to Thailand. Anytime, actually, right now. When it's summer in the United States, probably the best time. It's rainy season. A lot of people don't like to go to Thailand during rainy season. There's a couple reasons. I guess that same crowd goes to Europe for the summer to like Spain and Malta and Greece. That's one reason. Uh, but you have to remember, like most of the tourists to Thailand are actually Malaysian and Chinese, so that's not actually the main demographic. So that's not really the reason. It's because of the rain. I personally don't mind the rain because when it's hot, it's super hot. 95 degrees, 90 degrees, 98 degrees with humidity. I mean, the sun in Arizona is hot and it's bright and it's 110. I use Arizona as an example. Miami hot. Bangkok gets Miami hot. And I think that's kind of unbearable. So I don't mind going to Thailand during the rainy season. And it doesn't even rain every day. It's just overcast a little bit here and there, and then you get a blue sky day, and then that's when you do your tour. So Eli says, do you use train to travel? Yeah, here on Java, I use train. Anytime I can use a train, I will take a train. Trains are getting better. There's a lot of construction development in Asia with trains. They just built a high-speed rail from Jakarta to Bandung. They're going to be expanding that high-speed rail. So I like high-speed trains more than I like slow trains. Go figure, right? Of course. Europe, I do by train. I mean, once I get over to Europe, from there on, it's train until I leave. Maybe I have to take a plane like around Croatia or Barcelona. For some reason, there's no train that goes. Well, I know why it is. The Pyrenees Mountains block France from Spain, so they can't really build a train. They'd have to go all Switzerland with it, and they haven't done that yet. Do they have movie theaters in English there? We have thunderstorms here now, cools 50s a night. Oh, yeah. They have English movie theaters everywhere. Bangkok has like the best movie theaters you've ever been to. I mean, we're talking like luxury seating, like everything you could possibly want from a movie theater in Bangkok. And they have like 10 of these. They have more movie theaters than that. And everything was in English. There wasn't anything in Thai. I mean, maybe they had like some Thai stuff, but most of the movies are made in Hollywood and it's English. I mean, I've watched English movies. Like I watched Oppenheimer in Taiwan in English. They had like Chinese subtitles below, but everything was in English. I've watched, what else did I watch? American Sniper in Hong Kong in English. Fast and Furious in Bangkok. I mean, yeah, don't worry about that. You can get those, and they're really nice movie theaters. Do you have to learn language to feel better? Here in Indonesia, there's not a lot of English spoken, at least not on Java, and that's been a challenge. That's one thing that holds it back from a place like Thailand or Philippines or even Vietnam or Taiwan, Malaysia. Even like people speak more English even in Malaysia than they do here in Indonesia. But Indonesia is so much more cheap, and people do speak enough English. I mean, in those kind of situations, I just bust out the app, Google Translate. Hey, Rob52, how's it going? Eric says, any recommendations for London as for tourist attractions? Well, we do have a video on our channel, top things to do or best things to do in London, if you wanted to watch that. But some of the things to stand out, you know, the Thames River. I don't know how they say it. Thames. I've heard it said so many different ways. I mean, you'd be surprised. Even when you go to these places, you ask the locals, they'll say it a different way. The most recent video we just posted about Malaysia, Penang or Penang. Some of the locals call it Penang. Some of them call it Penang. You'll see in the comments, people will be like, hey, it's Penang. It's not Penang. Or it's Penang, not Penang. You know, so either way, London, yeah, you know, they've got Big Ben. I would say when you go to London, depending on how much time you got, it's a very expensive city, by the way. Get the big red bus, whatever that big red bus is called, the hop on, hop off bus, and just cruise that around. Definitely just cruise that around. Sneak peek. What's going on? I appreciate your video. My kid and I love watching your videos. That's great to hear. What was your favorite video that you've seen so far on the channel? Thank you to 27 people who hit the likes. If you guys get it to 30, we'll keep on going. Rob says, going good, hot in Anthem. Oh, I believe it. Anthem is probably hot this time of year, but hopefully there's some monsoons cooling it down, right? But London, Big Ben, going across the Thames River, they've got the new London Tower. You can go to the top of that. Going to pubs, going to some of the local markets, going to Piccadilly Circus. Another thing that's really fun to do, I wouldn't do it right now because of the Paris Olympics, but take the high-speed train or take the train from London to Paris. That's a cool thing to do. That was one of the engineering marvels of the last century. So I think it goes not to Paris necessarily, but I think it goes to Brussels. And then from Brussels, you can go to Paris quite easily. What Eli says, have you been, Rob? Where did Rob go? So anyway, that's basically the video here. Boston and Pennsylvania was interesting. You like Boston and you like Philadelphia. So you like American cities. That it sounds like you like the American cities then, more so than you guys like the Asia. I mean, I was going to ask the question, do you guys think that I should do, like, if I'm in Southeast Asia, where would you want to see? So I was going to ask the question, do you want to see Bali again? Do you want to see more Japan? Do you want to see more China? Because I have my Chinese visa with me. I was thinking to go to China. Now, there's obviously a little bit of political uncertainty with China, which has made me hesitant. But I do want to go back into China. I want to go to Beijing. Now is a good time to go to Beijing. Shanghai, I want to go to again. I want to go to Shenzhen. I just recently went to Hong Kong. So I was going to ask if you guys want to see, more China, more Indonesia, more Philippines, more Thailand, more Malaysia. I'm hoping you guys say Thailand. I always see Kai says, please go to Bali again. But no, I'm always like, whenever someone says, hey, I need you to go back to Thailand, I'm like, oh, roger that, I'm going. All it usually takes is one person too. I mean, Thailand's affordable. Like I was telling you guys earlier in the video, I save money there. Like my bank account loves when I'm in Thailand. Really. I mean, it's got everything. It's like, if there was a tourist checklist, it's everything. It's got everything you could need. Is Hong Kong safe? Yeah, Hong Kong's very safe. Hong Kong's incredibly safe. The most dangerous thing you'll do in Hong Kong would probably be cross the street. Like traffic can be a little bit. Well, I guess I say that because someone got ran over by one of those streetcars when I was there. Like a fluke accident. I saw it. I saw the guy underneath the car. It was one of the only times I've ever seen something like that before. Yeah, I kind of remember that. Hong Kong is very safe. Like, I mean, if crossing the street is the most dangerous thing, that tells you something, right? I mean, crossing the street in Phoenix is dangerous. Oh my gosh. I'm not joking about that. Maybe heat stroke or something would be dangerous. So make sure you drink a lot of water. It seems like that's something that I have to emphasize. If you're going to go out doing tourist activities on a hot summer day, make sure you're drinking enough water. And it's not just water, right? You need to get electrolytes. So I eat a lot of watermelon in the morning, breakfast, anything that has electrolytes, those electrolyte packets, because you want to make sure your body's got the salts and the vitamins that you need. Jennifer says, for some reason, I've never had the desire to visit Asia other than Thailand islands. I hear that a lot. Like some people just have it in their mind. They don't have an interest in it. And I think I can understand why. I mean, growing up in Arizona or growing up in the United States, I would probably, if it wasn't for the military taking me there, I probably would have never even done any of this, really. I don't know if I would have or not. But I probably would have been like, no thanks. But once I went there, I was like, you arrive in Bangkok, it's like one of those places when you arrive there, you're like, yeah, buddy, I'm back. Because you know what's coming. The 5-star experiences. I mean, great food, great people. Like, I always tell people, I travel to Thailand alone, but I never feel alone. I have family and friends in Arizona. When I'm there, I can feel lonely. When I'm in Thailand, I never feel alone. I never feel lonely. And it's because the people, that everyone around you is so friendly and easy to get along with. It's so you're always right there. I mean, even as a solo traveler, it's really hard to explain. But when you're around people that are just friendly and easy to get along with, and there's no like judgment in the air, one of the, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too philosophical about it, but something you have to see to believe or to understand. I've seen it in other places too. Latin America is the same way. It's just something about being in the US or being in Europe. There's a lot more peering eyes, judgment in the air, and you feel it. You know, whether you have tattoos or, you know, who knows what people are judging you about in the Western world, but you don't really, they could be judging you in Asia, but you don't really feel it. Maybe a little bit in China, you kind of feel it. And Japan. Japan, you feel it a little bit, but not in Southeast Asia. Sneak peek. We took a family trip to Barcelona this year and followed your guide. Okay. And yeah, what was your favorite thing that you did in Barcelona? I like La Rambla. The old Gothic quarter is really nice. Um, did you end up going to any of the islands like Ibiza or Mallorca? I really like Mallorca. That's one of my favorite islands. How safe is Thailand? Thailand's safe. Now, look, here's the thing. I mean, any place can be shady characters, right? So I have to put that disclaimer out there, even though it's annoying, because someone might hear me say, "Oh, Thailand's safe," and then just think they can do whatever they want anytime because it's safe. Obviously, you can't roll like that. But generally speaking, yes, Thailand is safe. I mean, it's super safe. I mean, I'll see solo female travelers walking around at night by themselves in Bangkok from Germany, from I'll see it in Phuket. You won't see that in New York. You won't see that in Orlando. They won't just be walking around the streets at night. So, I mean, I've seen that also in Costa Rica. It's like it's safe. But you know, you upset the wrong person. You know, there's always going to be like cartels, right? And you don't want to like involve yourself in any illicit activities, and you'll stay out of trouble. Um, you know, sneak peek. The church was nice. My wife's wallet was stolen. Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of uh, pickpockets in Barcelona. I actually had an encounter with one in Rome. They're definitely all over Europe. From what I've been told, they're not the local people; they're gypsies. So gypsies come there, and then they become these thieves. So it's true. Luckily, we disabled all the car. Yeah, I mean that stuff happens. I mean, when I travel, I have like 4 ATM cards. I have like 2 personal accounts, 2 business accounts. I might even have like a backup one and a passport because you know your card might get ate by the machine. I had that happen twice since I've been gone this year alone. My brother had to like FedEx me, overnight me my debit card because it got eaten by the ATM machine, but also the ATM card or the credit card situation. So I have like 5 credit cards, which works out for me because you know I have the Hilton one, the Marriott one, the Hyatt one, the gold card with American Express, the platinum card with American Express. Anyway, I have enough if something like that happened. Um, and like I have like a backup wallet, you know, which uh, so I have a backup phone. I have digital copies of all of my IDs, my passport and my ID in case I needed to access that. I don't know how much I could use those, but you know, you when you travel, you should bring backups for everything. Like you don't want to just bring one ATM card and you don't want to have that ATM card in the same place, right? So in this case, you would have an ATM card, your wife would have an ATM card, and then maybe to be extra safe, both of you would have a backup. You get what I'm saying? Do you use an RFID wallet? No, I do not. Should I? I had a what was that Apple tag on there, and I took it off because I felt the Bluetooth was messing with me. I don't do wireless headphones either. I use wired headphones because I'm not sure about that Bluetooth, and that's not because of something I heard or read. It's because of something I felt. Like I feel like Bluetooth makes me a little fuzzy, and so it is what it is. Yeah, Bitcoin. I mean, especially this time of year with everything. Like, yeah, it's a good time to pay attention to that right now, because as we go into Q4, that's going to be interesting. It's already starting to heat up. You know, it falls off, forms the crocodile teeth on the charts, but slowly but surely we'll get going up more than likely. That's not financial advice. Oh, the Pope. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, welcome, Rob. You're a travel starter. You've joined the memberships program. What would you guys like to see from the memberships program that you don't already get on the new channel or on the channel? So I want to give value on that, and I can't guarantee that I can respond to all the comments because sometimes I'll go through moments where I'm just like in such a grind where I just basically enter into the travel grind, and I can't manage responding to as many comments as I would like. I'll see comments, I'll respond to them, but sometimes they just get buried by other comments, you know. But I mean, if YouTube made it to where like I could like go in there and see all of the channel members who asked a question, then I would just go to one place and I would be able to respond to all those, you know, when I'm in the lounge drinking a glass of wine, relaxing. That to me is relaxing, right? Like going and communicating with you guys while I'm in a lounge, that to me is a relaxing experience. What's not relaxing is uh, business calls. But communicating with you guys is not stressful. It's just I would feel bad if you know, someone asked me a question and they expected me to answer and it got buried and I never saw it. So that's the only thing. It protects against people trying to scan your card info. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with how that would work. And I'm not too familiar with how someone would do that. I'm surprised. I'm sure in Europe they have this problem, but I'd have to research it a little bit more to understand. Radio frequency identification. Yeah. You know, there's a big thing, this idea of digital ID card. So people are going to say, "Oh, you're on board with Agenda 21 or whatever they were going to say." But as someone who travels, I'll just give you an idea, okay, why I feel this way. I'm all about the digital ID card for one reason. I mean, I'm sure that there's reasons why I would be against it too, but I hate checking into a hotel and they always ask for my passport and then they take it and sometimes they don't give it back. And I'm always getting this anxiety like, oh, did they give me back my passport? So, like, sometimes when I leave for the airport, I'll be like, oh man, let me go back into my uh, uh, backpack and make sure I got my passport. Oh, thank God I got it. Okay. But there's this like addiction that that hotels and airlines and all these people, sometimes even like going to Machu Picchu, you need to bring your passport. Like that's the last place I want to be taking my passport because I don't want to carry my passport everywhere. You know, number one, if you get it bent or anything like that, they can deny you at an immigration thing. So it's like, just put it on a digital thing and just go like this, beep. Here, you want it? Here, there it is. Scan it. I don't know why they don't do that yet, but everyone thinks that's like an Agenda 21 thing. Hopefully it's not. Geez. I mean, but for me, like digital ID card, passport, all that stuff. And if they do it, make sure you can put like a bunch of information on there. Like someone's like, it should be like someone's online ID, literally, like assuming that it's protected end-to-end encryption. Okay. But you should have like medical information in case something happened, you know, like on iPhone, they have like, you can do like emergency or something and they have like your emergency card, but in that online profile, or they should have like your religion. Are you a donor? What's your blood type? You know, in case something happened. I don't know why. I don't know why they can't do that, but the only thing that I'm thinking is that it's because there's a bunch of people who have this big conspiracy about some bad actors doing some bad things with all that information. And there could be some bad people who want to do some bad things with all that information. And that would be unfortunate because the idea makes sense, I would say. So my sister was messaging me. Anyways, thanks to 32 people who hit the like button. If you guys get it up to 40, let's see. Can we get to 40 likes? I'll keep going if you guys want. What time is it where you guys are at right now? Sneak Peek says, I saw people using Apple Watch and way to pay instead of taking out your wallet and risking yourself. Oh, yeah. I mean, the wallet thing, like here in Indonesia, look at all that. That's cash, right? They deal in denominations of millions. So, like 1 million rupiah. So, 1 million rupiah, you got to make sure you put in that many zeros. Like when you're at the ATM, you got to go. So, if 2 million rupiah is like $120. 2 million rupiah. Oh my gosh. So you can only imagine like carrying around all this money, and they're like mostly a cash based economy. And you sit on this wallet. It's not a lot of money in there, maybe like $100, but that's how much $100 takes up in my wallet. But that's just one country. I mean, Cambodia is even crazier inflation. They've gone to the US dollar. Lebanon was impossible. You'd have to walk around with a chunk of cash like this. It's just so ridiculous in some of these countries with inflation. It's 8 o'clock in Arizona. Okay, that's good to know. 10 a.m. in New Orleans, Kai. Okay, 8 a.m. Rob, should I do an Arizona live stream? I don't know, maybe. Only when there is a mystery, then it's the only time the CIA can't access your phone. Oh, okay. I don't know. 11 a.m. in New Jersey. So East Coast is wide awake right now. You guys are really dialed in then. So anyway, I might do a live stream on one of the other channels like Arizona or something, but we'll see. Either way, thanks to everyone who watched and smashed up the likes, and maybe we'll do some more live streams when I get to Bali. Maybe I'll do a live stream on the beach because I've got data. I've got Indonesian data, so I could probably do a live stream from a beach. It's 10:02 p.m., so I'm getting a little bit tired, to be honest with you. But either way, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Let's see, how do I end the stream?